wants you. We can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what is cracking? We are back today with another episode for CSL Season 4. This is going to be the team builder episode for Week 3. I am, of course, Kraken Nation, coach of the Boston Bisharps, and we are going to be playing against the Florida Feraligatrs and coached by Blazin. So they are a 1-1 team. They won their last game. Just some quick recaps about the history of the Florida Feraligatrs. They participated in Season 2 of the CSL. They were a pretty solid team, in my opinion. They're one of those teams where I felt like their record didn't exactly show their skill. Personally, I just felt that way, especially because both of my games against Blazin were very close 1-0s. And they were hard-fought 1-0s. So I really felt like this is a battle where, I'm going to have to be wary of that. That I feel like he's a pretty good player. And also, team matchup is not very good for me this game. That's something I'll get into. Also, one thing we're looking at in this battle, if we look at the Florida Feraligatrs, is that this time, Mega Pincer, the star of Season 2 Boston Bisharps, is now against us. That's scary, guys. That is some scary stuff. Whew, so we are gonna see how that goes. Sorry, I'm tired, but we're gonna see how that goes. I'm nervous because the biggest problem that I see right off the bat is that Mega Pincer is a problem because first of all, it's just a ravaging offensive threat, can demolish teams, just dismantle defensive cores, and with a Swords Dance plus aerially boosted quick attack fares pretty well against offense as well. So with that in mind, I wanted to really think about how I was going to be able to stop that. It was so effective for me Season 2, and I think Blade's going to be able to use it quite effectively. However, it does have very solid team support, and with Pincer beating Metacham, pretty much beating Metacham, beating Manaphy, and beating Ryu, it just beats so many of my upper tier Pokemon one-on-one. I was really scared of it. But also Rotom Wash could potentially be a problem, along with, I think it's really actually just those two Pokemon, and Ditto also prevents me from employing certain strategies. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. Mega Pinsir, of course, being, I think, Mega Pinsir, Latios, Rotom Wash are three Pokemon that literally, his three OU Pokemon 1v1 my 3 OU Pokemon, essentially, which is really unfortunate. Mega Pinsir beats Metacham, probably beats Manaphy, and could beat Garchomp in theory. Latios beats Metacham, beats Manaphy, beats Garchomp some sets. Not all sets, of course. Choice Scarf specifically. Rotom Wash can beat Garchomp, can beat some Manaphy, and could really cripple Metacham. So I'm nervous, but if we go over his draft, Mega Pinsir, Latios, Rotom Wash, Arcanine, Nidoqueen, Escavalier, Granbull, Meloetta, Miss Magus, Credilli, and his bonus pick was the Ditto out of the PU tier, which is a fantastic Pokemon. Ditto is a Pokemon that should have been the top pick out of the PU tier. It's a Pokemon that really employs. It's as good as the tier that it's in, which is why it's in PU. It's kind of it's not exactly like Smirtle, I guess, but it's as good as the tier that it's in, and that it does the exact same thing, which is really just switch in. So when I was team building for this, I kind of had two main concepts in my head, and that was I didn't want to get wrecked by Mega Pinsir, and I didn't want to get wrecked by Ditto, because in my experience with OU, if Ditto switches, a Choice Scarf Ditto switches in on my +3 Manaphy, or even my Mega Metacham, when I'm set up and starts clicking, let's say Mega Metacham, and starts clicking Choice Scarf, Mega Metacham, high jump kicks, that is a bad day. Fact. We won't win the game out anymore. I will get wrecked. So, with that in mind, we can hop right into the team. As you can see right off the bat, I did not bring Metacham for that reason alone. Metacham has come for the first two battles, and it was a great asset in both of those battles. But unfortunately, I was I am not playing games with him switching in a Metacham, Ditto on my Metacham, And I would literally get wrecked. Like, the thing is, Metacham is so good, but like Choice Scarf Metacham, if let's see if I could out on my team, would wreck my own Metacham, wreck Manaphy, do a lot of damage to Garchomp. Reuniclus would be alright depending on what move it got locked into. Snorlax wrecked. Alomola, my physical wall of glory, gets 2-hit KO'd like a just sad boy. Uxie again would be maybe alright. Bulky Psychic types are the one thing that Metacham struggles with, so those would be my only answer. But Aerodactyl wrecked. Quagsire cannot take those high jump kicks. Xatu, Ice Punch, or even high jump kick can't really take that well. And the Zebstrika would be KO'd. So, I was not playing games with that. That's scary. So I wanted to really pay in mind, because it also affected my team building as far as Manaphy was concerned, as far as Garchomp was concerned, as far as all those guys. So without further ado, let's hop right into each individual Pokemon. Oh my god, undo delete. What am I doing? Okay, so first off the bat, we got fully invested in bulk Choice Scarf Garchomp. This Garchomp literally outspeeds his entire team. There's just because all of his Scarfers are at a place, like, he has no really, like, mid-tier, oh, sorry, this is the wrong thing. He has no mid-tier Pokemon. If you look, like, there's no good Scarfers. Like, there's essentially Rotom Wash, but Rotom Wash is gonna 1v1 Garchomp most of the time anyways. Arcanine isn't really I don't really expect Arcanine to be Scarfed. If it is, I beat Arcanine anyways. Doesn't really scare me, because if it's Scarfed, it'll be offensive. And it won't be running Will-O-Wisp, in which case I'll definitely be able to beat it. Nidoqueen could be running Scarf and could be running Ice Beam, so that's the one thing I'm wary of. But beyond that, like, Granbull, I'm going to outspeed. Granbull literally has, like, no speed. I'm pretty sure, one second, look at this, 45. I literally don't need investment, and I already outspeed Granbull. I already calced that. And then Miss Magius won't be running a Scarf, I'm almost positive. Meloetta could be running a Scarf, but, like, if Meloetta was running a Scarf, like, I didn't feel like I had a whole lot of options, because Earthquake wasn't going to kill it anyways, so I'd rather have the bulk. Although, in hindsight, maybe that's worth thinking about. But actually, to be fair, though, regardless, this Garchomp will not be staying in on a Meloetta when I have Pokemon that can take on Meloetta in the wings. So, yeah, that's just would never happen. Well, it hopefully won't have to happen, I should say. Never say never. But anyways, getting into the spread, 252 HP, 252 attack with Adamant Nature. This is going to be able to outspeed Mega Pinsir specifically. So that means, what this means for me is that Mega Pinsir, the only way Mega Pinsir can have a chance to KO this thing and lose 1v1 is if Mega Pinsir is at +6 and uses Quick Attack, in which case it's not even guaranteed from like that. Because if we put in the Reaper and we put in Mega Pinsir, use Swords Dance, let's say we put him up to +6. Quick Attack still is only a roll. It's a good chance, but it's still just a roll. And Rock Slide is a guaranteed KO no matter what. Let's say, I feel like if we even put defensive EVs, it's still over a 50% chance to OHKO, and there's no way he's going to be running defensive Pinsir. That's just ridiculous. Like, if he is, then I deserve to lose, because that's crazy. But this is essentially the emergency stop to Mega Pinsir. It can guaranteed switch into, it can't switch in necessarily, I should say, actually. It can switch into a return, but not as well. That's where the bulk EVs kind of come in handy, because if we take away the +6, return does not kill, and we have an emergency switch in. But regardless, my main point with this Garchomp is if something gets sacked, Garchomp can then switch in, and either scare it out, or something like that, scare it out, or just kill it. If he's not expecting the Scarf, if he's expecting like maybe a bulkier spread or a slower spread, because this does hit 360 speed. Pinsir hits something like 339, yeah. So I was like I want to say 338, but 339. So it's guaranteed we'll outspeed that, along with other notable things that it's going to outspeed. It's going to be Latios. This hits 360 speed. Latios hits 350. Basically, actually outspeeds his entire team. If we look at the draft stats, this is a pretty slow team. Florida Feraligatrs. One sec, where are you? This is like it's not the slowest, but it's like not a notably fast team either. So I feel like this Garchomp is gonna be able to put in a lot of work. Dragon Claw is gonna be able to hit, namely Latios. If we look at the team, Sorry, I'm kind of going in depth. This is a battle that scares me a lot, so I put a lot of thought into this. It's going to be able to hit Latios along with getting neutral coverage on Rotom Wash. That's going to be in a cleanup range, along with really achieving neutral coverage on almost his entire team. Also, there's Mismagius, that's our best option to hit Mismagius with. Earthquake is basically for power whenever it's needed. It'll hit Arcanine for super effective, Nidoqueen for super effective. It'll hit Granbull the hardest of any of our moves, Meloetta, and also Credilli. I think, yeah, it hits Credilli the hardest. So it's really just good neutral coverage on most of his team, along with super effective on a couple things. Basically, probably going to be our most common move, because it's not like all the other moves are situational, and Earthquake will be our go-to. Fire Fang, essentially just to hit a Scavalier, who otherwise a bulky Scavalier can switch into Garchomp pretty easily. And Fire Fang gives me a way to take it out, even though I'm Scarfed, and so I won't be handling switch-ins very well. So because I'm a choice item, I can also switch into an Escavalier, because this is a very bulky Garchomp. With 420 HP, this Garchomp can actually switch into some weaker resisted attacks, and Garchomp does have some pretty cool resistances that I might be able to take advantage of. Yeah, Fire, Poison, Rock, so that means I can switch into Credilli pretty easily. I can switch into, not really any of, not many of, maybe that Escavalier attacks, but there are some attacks that I can switch into pretty easily. Mainly the Arcanine's actually is a cool one, and also Nidoqueen if I can predict a poison type attack, which might happen actually, looking as poison is usually Nidoqueen's best option for things like Manaphy. I don't think Nidoqueen gets Thunderbolt unless I'm. Oh my god, what am I saying? Oh, Ken. Oh my god, that coverage on that thing. Okay, so I completely take that back. But that said, I think Poison is something that Nidoqueen will be running a lot of the time. It does hit them certain things. It's like the most reliable move against my team, so it might be reasonable to predict that being brought. Although 3 of these Pokemon are weak to Electric, so this one ground immunity is going to be pretty important if an Electric type attack starts getting spammed, namely from Rotom Wash, which is a problem that I've noticed along the lines of this team in general, is that Rotom Wash is going to be a significant problem, to say the least. I just didn't know how to prep for it any better than I did. My team's best answer to it would be a Calm Mind setup Reuniclus. Unfortunately, Calm Mind setup Reuniclus is not something I can use because Ditto will be able to take advantage of that, along with Mismagius will be able to do a lot of damage to that. There's a lot of Pokemon. A Scavalier I can't touch unless I run a Fire move and Mega Horn. There's like a lot of Pokemon here that just like Mega Pinsir. There's just too many fast, fast, everything's faster than Reuniclus, but there's too many fast Pokemon that are going to hit Reuniclus too hard that it can't take on everything. Reuniclus is a great Pokemon for breaking down more defensive type cores, is what I'm noticing. It's like more balanced. It takes down balanced and defensive cores, but hyper offensive cores tend to overwhelm it, so that's kind of my ideology behind what I'm doing. Anyways, this has already been a pretty long video. I apologize for that, but I'm going pretty in-depth here. Let's close this. Moving on, we're going to go into Manaphy. This is a fully physically defensive Calm Mind Manaphy. You might be wondering what this is for. So, what I thought of, this is something I employed last season actually, and I thought about when I was using Manaphy, is that Manaphy is such a great setup sweeper. Its Calm Mind set is cool, but its Tail Glow set is generally better. However, in previous seasons when I faced up against Ditto, I've thought one thing that I really had in my mind was the fact that, if a Scarf Ditto switches in on, let's say I'm somehow +4, I made that mistake and set up when there was a Ditto on the field, and he switches in and starts blasting off Scarf, Manaphy, ×4 special attack, Scald, I'm screwed. However, this Manaphy, if he decides to bring Scarf Ditto, which Ditto is normally Scarf, that's something worth noting, is that Ditto almost always runs Scarf. This Manaphy is basically useless if he opts to switch in and try to get a Scarf up, because Calm Mind, first of all, won't be boosting me up too fast, which is both unfortunate and fortunate, because it's sadly that I won't be boosting up fast, but against Ditto it's good. Scald, Rain Dance, Rest. If this Ditto switches in, not only is this set basically useless to a choice-locked Pokemon, but let's say I'm at +3, or let's say I'm at I'm at +3, so 2.5 special attack, special defense. Ditto switches in. Manaphy is able to keep boosting up on this thing, and hopefully eventually get to the point of one rerunning it, as it is going to be locked in Scald, I assume, basically making it useless because I won't be taking almost any damage from those Scalds. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. it's just a great set overall. The second I see Ditto, I knew this was what I was gonna run. Also because Latias, this helps me beat Latias, helps me beat Mega Pinsir. Even against Rotom Wash, this set fares better against like a Scarf Rotom Wash. Really just takes on more things on this team more reliably. When I think of like what this set's going to be better at handling, it's going to be better at handling the fast Pokemon that we're going to already outspeed Manaphy as compared to the Tailglow set. But so like while the Tailglow set would have fared better against maybe Arcanine, Nidoqueen, even a Scavalier, Granville, and Meloetta and Credilli, this set's going to fare better against Pokemon that I've been expressing that I'm more nervous about, which are the faster, more offensive threats such as Mismagius, Latios, and Mega Pinsir. So while there's some pros and cons to using these two Pokemon, I did ultimately decide that Ditto was enough of a deterrent that I didn't want to start bringing a crazy setup mon. This is Baby Petrie. Shout out to the Syracuse Sylveons. Baby Petrie is here with enough speed EVs to outspeed Latios guaranteed. It's not going to be Scarf, so no more speed EVs than that matter. That's the fastest thing in his team running a Scarf, and if Pokemon's running a Scarf, I wasn't going to outspeed it anyways, probably, because I really wanted to run this Adamant Nature. So, this is a Life Orb, Stone Edge, Crunch, Earthquake, Hone Claws. The goal of this is basically to be a cleaner in a pinch. Also, mid-game, I guess just mid-game offense to cleaner. Those are the two roles that I'm thinking this Pokemon's going to be useful for. Yes, I just talked so much about not bringing setup sweepers, but if I can if the thing is, like, having the Life Orb makes, and like this set, I feel like if Ditto does copy it, and I'm not like, I won't set up Aerodactyl if Ditto is on, like, going off. Like if Ditto's on the field or in the game still, I will not set up this Aerodactyl. I already know that. And if Ditto does switch in on this thing, I believe Aerodactyl. One second, Aerodactyl. Can I take a choice scarfed one? Nope, no, I cannot. Never mind. I am actually weak to that. I forgot that rock doesn't resist rock. I'm not super worried if this thing dies. It is helpful though because it does, with Crunch, Stone Edge, and Earthquake and Hone Claws to boost up. It does hit so much of the team. Namely, this thing is actually a switch in, a one-time, pretty much switch into Mega Pinsir, and then can proceed to KO it. So, which is like what this team has really been built around, is stopping Mega Pinsir. But it's a stop Mega Pinsir, along with it can beat Latios, it beats Arcanine, Nidoqueen, can beat a Scavalier if I'm set up enough. I think it's worth actually calculating that. I don't think I did. A Scavalier, let's say Choice Band, let's say 252. Stone Edge, yeah, so if we look at Stone Edge, if I'm at I need to be at +1 achieves 75% chance to KO after rocks. So actually what's going to really matter is what I'm noticing in this battle is that if I can get up to +2, that's going to make a big difference for little Aerodactyl here. Because after that, I start securing a lot of KOs that I wasn't securing, and I'll get into some of those later. Of course, Gramble might end up being a problem. I freaking hate Gramble. I hate Intimidate. But yeah, so it's just got good coverage moves. One thing I want to talk about actually is that this is my team's best way to kill Rotom Wash just easily, like, which is, it might sound silly, but if we go put a physically defensive pivot, Rotom Wash here, +2, this is like my best chance at killing this thing, if it's physically defensive, because if I'm at +1 and I manage to get that, because it does have a higher chance for a crit will guaranteed kill after at +1, and at +2 it again has a chance, almost guaranteed after rocks. So that's something I was actually thinking of. I really want to get this Aerodactyl up to +2 if I can. It's going to be really great as a mid-game wall break or or just like a late-game clean. The only Pokemon that really scares this set is Granbull, because it can unfortunately force Granbull can basically kill with any of its moves, and unfortunately put us in a situation where we have to click, we're going to lose it. So if we were only able to get up to +1, we won't be able to achieve the KO is what was scaring me. If I can get up to +2, I'm not as worried. Again, and then somehow, by some freak circumstances, if we were at +3, then we're completely fine. because we can continue sweeping after. But that's what I was thinking about with this Aerodactyl. Of course, yeah, I talked about the speedy Vs, max attack investment just to guarantee those kills, and then whatever, just do the rest in the bulk while maintaining an odd number for the life form recoil. Moving on, we got Curslax. Curslax is kind of along the same lines as Manaphy, being a Pokemon that Ditto can switch into and then proceed to just be stupid against, because this set is, if let's say Ditto switches when I'm at +2 or +3 or something, like yes, it's gonna be a powerful crunch, but it's not gonna be doing much damage to me. And from there, like, I can just keep cursing up and just proceed to wreck the thing, because it just isn't gonna be this set. What really these kind of defensive, what I'm gonna call these are defensive win conditions. These two, which is a really cool idea, I'm really enjoying. But what defensive win conditions such as this rely on, which is, I guess, any kind of rest talk set is a defensive win condition generally. Rest talk boosting, but they rely on like just utilizing all 4 of their moves, and obviously Choice Scarf Pokemon cannot. So a Choice Scarf Ditto, while I am setting up, a Choice Scarf Ditto will not be able to really utilize the moves that I am offering to their fullest extent, because they only get to choose one. So yes, if it locks in a crunch, it could be dangerous with a crit, but I'm just gonna have to bank on that not being an issue. Of course, if I get up to +2, this thing, I was highly debating what set to put, but I didn't want to risk having to take too many Dracos from Latios, and I also didn't want to take on Mismagius with a Rock Slide or something just to do a pinch. Rock Slide was the other move I was considering, just hit Mega Pinsir, even though it also hits Arcanine, which are 2 of the stronger physical attackers. But oh geez, sorry. But if we look at Snorlax and we put in Obese Juan Kenobi here, and we go for Mega Pinsir, Mega Pinsir, and so while we can't take a return right off the bat, if we get up to +2, we can now avoid that. +1 doesn't exactly avoid, although it does after leftovers. +2, and we can safely start going safe as you can without a crit. Although Crunch won't be doing like much damage at all, even at +2. Let's say we get up to +3. I think that will make it a good solid 2-hit KO. Yeah, Crunch is a really high chance to 2-hit KO after. And like, if we just start playing, I wouldn't play the games with Pinsir. I'd probably play the games with a more specially offensive Pokemon that I'm not as afraid of. But if we start playing those games and I can get up to +6, obviously Pinsir is going to go down and his returns are not going to do zilch. But you know, that's just how this game is hopefully going to go. Is that I'm going to be able to take advantage of these defensive win conditions. So again, Crunch just achieves coverage on his entire team. Pokemon that it doesn't hit very well is going to be namely Granbull. You know, Granbull just Granbull's actually just a Pokemon that's been quite problematic for me. I don't know if I'm expecting him to bring it. See, it doesn't even at +5 doesn't even achieve a 2-hit KO, and I can't. The calc's not going to let me go higher than that, which is ridiculous. What if I go like +3, then I make you normal type like you used to be? So yeah, that's probably how much damage a +6 would do, which isn't much at all. That kind of sucks. But and then Play Rough is gonna do not much back. But yeah, that's gonna be the Snorlax set. Hopefully, I'm gonna be able to employ it effectively. We got 2 defensive win conditions, either one of which I feel like could win me the game, along with an offensive win condition being Aerodactyl. So I'm pretty happy. These are the 3 Pokemon that are gonna win me the game. The rest is kind of to support it. This Garchomp being just an emergency stop. Moving on to Mega Love Disc, we got Rocky Helmet, Regenerator, Scald, Wish, Protect, Toxic. Essentially, I have 1 offensive stop to Mega. I have, well, actually 2, 1.5. I'll say this is like a half. I have basically, this is an emergency check. This is an offensive switch in, and this is going to be a defensive switch in to Mega. Mega Pinsir. Toxic, Scald, Wish, Protect is going to be able to do a lot. It also does actually take on a fair amount of other Pokemon on this team, namely Arcanine, Escavalier. Yeah, that's actually it. But Toxic will allow it to take on things that can't hit it very well. Also Granbull, which is actually good because Granbull's the one Pokemon we've been complaining about this entire time. Unfortunately, it does get hit by a lot of other things, but essentially the main purpose of this thing, like, basically a lot of Pokemon on this team, every Pokemon basically has a way to stop Mega Pinsir, which is really important. One thing I didn't mention is that Manaphy has a plus. Manaphy is a guaranteed 3-hit KO by Mega Pinsir. We put in True Blue and go Mega Pinsir. As you can see, this is a guaranteed 3-hit KO and not a 2-hit KO. Of course, bar stupid crits. But Scald under Rain. Let's say we start boosting up Scald under Rain. Special attack. Let's say we get up to +2. That's a guaranteed OHKO. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Mega Love Disc is basically just a great switch in. And I know that if Mega Love Disc is in the field, basically there's no chance that they're going to start clicking Swords Dances on expected Scalds. So it's basically going to be able to hopefully force out Mega Pinsir every single time, and maybe through that achieve some more Toxics on things when I predict it. Yeah, so we'll see. That's what I'm hoping for. Finally, in the last slot, we got the Vision Uxie with Light Clay. I'm running Light Clay Reflect Light Screen again because that was quite effective. And what I really excites me about the Reflect Light Screen is that it gives a lot of these defensive win conditions who are not really as stable the first, like, when I say the word stable, I mean, like, just reliable. Like, they're in a position where they can now win the game, because those defensive win conditions take a couple turns of momentum. Like, they usually have to you get at least 2 turns of boosting up before they can start taking hits. Like, I would say this guy needs to get 2 curse up because his physical defense is just atrocious. And Manaphy needs a turn to get up both Rain Dance and a Calm Mind, because while defenses are a little more even, and Calm Mind will really balance that out, it needs Rain Dance before it can start getting off rests, whereas Snorlax again is bulkier, but only on one side. So it needs, I would say both of these need 2, and what hopefully this is going to be able to give me is that little bit of extra buffer room where I can just start setting those up, because either one of those Pokemon, I feel like if it sets up, it can quite easily, quite effectively win me the game, because, like, I mean, if we even plug in Manaphy against Latios, and go like OU Life Orb, we go +2. Draco literally doesn't even KO before, doesn't even get to 50% before that special attack drop, and so I will easily be able to kill it. And then, like, I'm already almost doing, let's say I get up to +3, I'm already going to be able to pretty much 2 KO under Rain, definitely after Life Orb damage. So yeah, finally we're running Stealth Rocks. Obviously, finally I realized towards the end of this, I didn't know what to put in this last slot, but finally I realized, I don't have Stealth Rocks, and this is a team with Mega Pinsir. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to bring Stealth Rocks. This team also has to rely on Latios to defog, so I really wish I had a good Pursuit Trapper. I was considering bringing Tyranitar or drafting it in the beginning, but Garchomp has been really great so far, and unfortunately that leaves me without any good Pursuit Trappers. Does Aerodactyl get Pursuit? That would be kind of cool. Oh, it does. Huh. But also Aerodactyl can't switch into a Draco, so that's something I'm not going to mess around with too much. But my game plan will hopefully be able to take down Latios early on if that's what it needs. Finally, Hidden Power Rock achieves a 2-hit KO on Pinsir, and what's cool about this max defensive spread is when I calced it, hopefully it's still going to be true, Mega Pinsir, because on a normal Uxie, which is normally Spadef, this is an easy 2-hit KO and then at +2. If we talk at +2 somehow, it'll be an easy, even easier 1-hit KO. But what's cool about a fully physically defensive Uxie is, ready? Boom, 49.4. That's basically as close to a 2-hit KO as I can get. That's no leftovers. This is so close to a 2-hit KO, and I'm fine. I take it, which is awesome. Of course, if he's running Adamant Nature, which is a possibility, actually. I don't think he'll be running it, just because I have Pokemon like Garchomp that would outspeed him if he wasn't running it, if I was full speed. So I'm not too worried, but it's a possibility. Again, that's like also Pokemon like Manaphy, actually, which is a big thing. So, yeah, I don't expect me running Adamant, but this should be able to do that, and HP Rock will be able to 2-hit KO back, and this isn't even behind Reflect. If I'm already behind a Reflect, let's say, I'm totally fine, and that would be a really cool way to start the battle. It also hits Arcanine, which is actually a special, defensive Arcanine is like a thing, along with pretty much achieving neutral coverage on the entire team, actually, yeah, neutral coverage on this entire team, which is pretty cool, and, of course, it's not a great attack for anything else, but it'll do the trick. This was a long team builder, but I put a lot of thought into this team when I was making it. Of course, ultimately, at the end, I finally realized Rotom Wash is going to be a problem. What I'm going to have to do with Rotom Wash is probably going to have to play pretty aggressively with Snorlax, because it's the only thing that doesn't switch, that can switch in. Other options with Rotom Wash would be to switch in Uxie on like a Will-O-Wisp, get up my screens, then go into Snorlax and start the setup game. That's actually probably what I'm thinking. I'm also bringing Thick Fat, not something I talked about, but I just figured, thick fat's the only ability that makes sense on this thing. Immunity might be cool sometimes, but thick fat allows me to switch in for these ice type moves that Garchomp fears, although those would also be a chance to get mana fee. I don't know. It's a complicated world, you know what I'm saying? Whew. Anyways, that was a lot of talking. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, rate, subscribe. Always really appreciate that. Wish me luck. It's going to be a scary battle. That's why I've been putting so much prep. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys later. Kraken Nation out.